Lakers hit 14 threes themselves, but allowed the Celtics to hit 24.
Yeah, more on the threes. The Lakers actually were 40% from three and hit 14 of them. You'll take that any night, but shooting 45 threes and hitting 53% of them is just something you don't see every single night. The Lakers were minus 30 from three. It's the third most the Lakers have ever had against them as well. So it just kept piling up. 8 different guys, James, hit threes, including the bench, who had 9 of those 24 threes. So they were just getting it from everywhere.
Yeah, when you permit that, when you, are used to that, and that is the team concept, you have several guys and they're very comfortable with it. They do a pretty good job of spacing the floor, especially when you got a guy like Brown who can break down defense. And their execution is very well on offense. Always has been for the last few years. So I give Boston a lot of credit. They're solid and they execute well and defended well tonight. But the Lakers were just a step behind.
Yeah, and part of the Lakers' success, really is significantly impacted by Luka's ability to put pressure on the defense. Obviously, LeBron's games that he's played, the Lakers are 5-1. It's also the pressure that he puts on defenses. But tonight, it was just more about energy and lack of ability to be disruptive on the defensive end. Just wasn't going to be able to get it done.
Yeah, go ahead.
And why you want to schedule the Lakers and Celtics on a back-to-back? Come on, that's a big game.
Make it a national.
I know everybody does it, but
yeah, it's just not great. That's what
that was a tough
Coach
game.
Kerr and a lot of the other coaches have been talking about for years. Sometimes we got to make some better decisions there. Let's talk a little Jaylen Brown, because I agree with you, big game. He set the tone, man, with 30. He's having a great year. Obviously a Finals MVP. No Jason Tatum. Everyone thought, Mike Trudell talked about this with Billy during the game. Maybe they'll punt this year. Maybe they'll take a gap year. But the Celtics are fighting. They're 5th best in the East. They got one of the best offenses, as we saw tonight. And Jaylen Brown, 10 of 22, and he got hot in the third big game.
Yeah,
hot in the third, and wouldn't let the Lakers get close.
No Tatum. Brown steps up. If it wasn't Brown, it may have been White. It's like us. No Luka. Austin Reaves steps up. Next man up. You talk about the MVP guy, in Brown, and he's somewhat of an assassin, Geeter. He goes at you hard, and he gets to the cup. I think he opened up the second half. I think he hit like 3 threes in a row. So he was very active early in leading his team on both ends.
And a lot of the conversation around the Celtics is, for a few years, there were question marks around whether Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were really a great fit.
Were they a combo, a great combo?
Yeah, they both were all-star caliber players, but could the team win a championship with those two guys? Jaylen Brown is more comfortable even without Jason Tatum, because that's naturally who he is, what we saw tonight. He's a 30-point per night guy that sacrifices to win a lot of games when Jason Tatum is in the lineup. But he is capable of exactly what we saw tonight on an every-night basis over the course of 82 games.
All right, let's talk a little Lakers. Austin Reaves, guys, 36 points, 9 of 18. It was tough for him tonight as they hounded him, and a very physical night as well. But he got to the line 17 times. And honestly, guys, like watching him, even in a tough night like this, it just doesn't matter what team he goes up against now, James. He is that guy that can get you 30 on any given night, even when it's a night like tonight.
An off night.
Yeah, when things aren't going. Yeah.
On an off night, I'd like to get like 12,
still
maybe.
Still 50%,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Gita, he's tough as nails. Tonight they were able to focus on Austin quite a bit. We didn't have as many options, but still, he's able to get to the line 17 times. That's, people don't look at his free throws a lot, but boy, he's one of the best at drawing fouls and getting to the line and creating opportunities for himself and his teammates.
Historically, if you do the research, whatever sports reference, Elias, Sports Bureau, whatever you want to throw out, the best scorers in the history of the game have always been able to manipulate and get foul calls and get to the free throw line at the double-digit numbers. Used to be around 10, 11, maybe, were your high-number guys across the league, your all-stars, your all-NBA guys. Austin Reaves is getting to the free throw line at that rate, and that's what's allowing him to score so many points night in and night out. It's not just 6 or 7, 8 threes a night. It's 10, 12, 14 free throws plus 8 or 9 made shots, and he's doing it at an efficient level.
Yeah, bottom line, none of us like losing, and you don't take home silver linings, but you also, as a coach, you know this too, Fish, and of course you, Big Game. Sometimes you got to look at positive and find things. And once I settled into that game and said, oh, okay, it's going to be a long night. I mean, watching you watch that game with me, like we just couldn't believe what was going on. They were hitting threes from absolutely everywhere. It was nice to see a guy like Thero get extended minutes. Nick Smith produce a little bit, and then a guy like Gabe Vincent. He got the volume tonight. He had 18 points.
That's what the season is for. You know, the regular season, coaches and teammates are observing and watching all the little details and the small things that it's going to take in order to put a long season together of success. You know, who can be trusted in certain situations. Coaches are watching certain matchups. How did Gabe Vincent guard Derek White tonight? Right? How did Thero cover Jaylen Brown in the 8 or 9 times that they were matched up? Can that be a guy if these two teams met in the finals? Can Thero guard Jaylen Brown to finish a quarter for 2 minutes while somebody else is in foul trouble? So all of these plays matter, and that's what you try to tell young guys. It matters whether you're up or down 30. Every possession goes on film. It's like something on your resume that you can't take off.
That's why you just don't punt and take your guys out and never put them back in, right? You're down 29, James, in the first half. You could just mail that in and say, let's get ready for Philadelphia. But you got to see guys play. They made a little run in the third quarter to get it to 15, had to look at a 3 to get it to 12. That's what this game is about. You're going to get a beatdown on occasion, but how do you respond and how do you fight? Do you compete when you know you're up against it?
Yeah, it's how you react, you know, and how you finish the game. You know, you're down 25. You know, there's going to be other games where you're down 15, 20 points. And, you know, it's good to see if you can chip away and maybe process something to get you back in the game. Lakers got it to 19.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, yeah. 15. So that's pretty good. And as far as, you know, coaches are always looking for something, especially for guys who don't get to play that often. You do want to see if they've been paying attention, if they follow instructions well, if they're able to, you know, execute. Those are valuable times that a lot of players don't get in real-time situations. So even though it was somewhat of a blowout, like Fish said, there are always little details that coaches are looking for to see if they can use you in the future.
For sure. I mean, think about the Dodgers, for example, right? World Series champions. Throughout the course of that 161 games, 162 maybe. Dave Robertson.
There were some struggling times.
Yeah, but you're looking.
Still.
He's looking at who can I trust to get an out in the 8th inning of a big game, and you're watching those middle relievers and closers and different guys who can be a starter, who can be a middle reliever. All of that stuff is the same in the NBA. Coaches and teams and teammates are watching all of the little nuances throughout the course of the season.
All right, guys, time to hear from
with younger players where he's teaching every day. I mean, this guy went down to the G League. Imagine what they must have felt like having the king for a while. So, yeah, I mean, he's from the beginning. I mean, Fish noted that he hadn't had any you know, training camp or really in the best of shape that he would like to be. But his experience and what he's doing on the floor now, he's just filling in the spaces that are needed. You know, he's running that baseline. He's making other guys better by the passes he gives up. And that play last night just goes to show you the mindset of a true champion and you know, his greatness.
I agree.
Yeah, that's why I was talking to, you know, even at home as a family, like talking to the kids, talking to our boys. The irony of it is, early in LeBron's career, people ridiculed him and criticized him for making the play he made last night to win a game. People would question whether or not he was a killer. You know, he was an assassin like Michael Jordan, like Kobe Bryant, and the other guys that we had become accustomed to seeing close out games. And you know, he said it. He's made these plays his entire career. It was the right basketball play to make. Rui makes the shot. The Lakers win the game. That's ultimately what matters the most. But the fact that it was questioned, because he's always been a pass-first player, almost more Magic than Michael from a passing and scoring perspective. But he's also